Good morning, everyone. I want to share fire safety precautions, fire safety tips with you. And I want you to share this information to everyone. Let it reach everyone. Please, not only your friends, to save life, to save property. Guide yourself in order to save your own life, save people's life, that includes your friends, your family, any other person. Why? Fire, though it's a friend, but a destructor. We trial number of days, number of hours, number of months, number of years in order to gather our resources to protect, to support our living, and also gather enough probably for our generations. And so sometimes we even sacrificed, we starve just because we want to keep something to run our family, to take care of our children, to prepare something for our children. And all you know, just a trigger of an eye, fire consumes every bit of it within a trigger of an eye. Even if it only affects the property, we thank God. But if it's life, and the fire consumptions does not regard anything, does not respect anything. If fire consumes, there are two things, either property or life. If it is property, fair, you may be continue toiling and probably gain it back. But if it's your life, that is the end of the course, the end of the patience. Just as a result of maybe one carelessness, as a result of wanting, as a result of what wanting. And most of the fire the causes of the fire, and let me be specific, 95% of the causes of fire outbreak today is as a result of human activities. And the human activities that cause fire are manageable, are preventable. They are preventable. We can reduce it, even if not entirely. We can reduce it based on what I'm going to mention. If we are careful, if we understand ourselves, if we take a step back, if we begin to realize that no, my own efforts should not lead me to this, so I'm going to resist from it. And you also said the same thing. That is why we ought to reduce this rampant fire outbreaks. And the human activities that I'm talking about, One among them is your own carelessness. Your own carelessness. Another one is ignorant. And the last but not the least is what we call actions. 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 A deliberate act. Intentional. Intentional what? Actions. Do it intentional. For a reason. And your reason might not be enough. So, these are the major causes of fire in relation to human activities, in relation to human attitude. One among them is natural, what we call natural, accidental. Something that is bound to happen, something that God has mandated. That one you can prevent it. But the rest are preventable. The rest are preventable. I will take one after the other and explain. Yeah, the carelessness that, as I mentioned, is you know it, you know the effect, you know what I'm going to do, the consequences, but you don't care. You don't care because you are not serious. Because you don't see it. You don't, feel the effect. So you do it anyhow. So anything that happens, you don't care. For example, you are aware that when you keep matches, when you just put your matches, children like playing with matches, and you leave it. So after cooking it, you left. So if your child also try, see you what you were doing, what you have done, and as a result, they get something to eat. So if the child is also hungry, or not even hungry, want to practice, you also go and turn on your gas and light the matches. So when you can, the whole house is fine. So whom are you blaming? Is it that you are not aware that children play with matches? Is it that you are not aware that the child can try that when they can even use sun outside and be playing? And this is just practical. You have done it and you have seen it, and you leave it and left the matches just like that. So the attitude of yours is carelessness. And the attitude of that child is ignorant. That's the difference between ignorance and carelessness. The child did it as a result of what? Ignorance. He doesn't know that if he try, this will be the effect. He doesn't know. He is going to also do like the mother is doing. But he's not aware that if putting on the gas and throwing the gas is the entire place of the tree. So any introductions of heat, light, ignite, and the ignition will not serve the purpose of in which heating is going to be. It will gallop the whole house, including he or she herself. That is ignorance. But your case is carelessness. And so fire service personnel have been preaching these things all over radio stations, churches, gathering, any, platform that they had the opportunity, they talk about these things. And yet, we don't take it serious. It is high time we must be serious of these things to avoid unnecessary fire outbreaks. You're also aware that when you overload your socket, it can explode. The wires there can melt. You're also aware that this your broken sockets, if the wires that are seen, if they happen to get contact, there will be sparks. Change it. You are aware. So what will you do? You change them. But you will not do that. You leave it. When I get money, before you get money, the money that you already gather and put the properties that are inside it, that is more costly 10 times of that socket that you should have bought will be consumed. You are aware that your gas is leaking. Probably it's either the black sheet, the black shell, the black rubber, that shell. That is the only thing that is happening. Probably it's chopped, and it is less than 5 cedi. Change it. You will not do that. Or it is the head that spoiled, the pin there, because it's open on, it's chopped, so it's not fitting again. So you need to change it. You will not change it. So stop using it until you get money. You will put block on top. And so are you saying that you're not aware that your gas is leaking? You are aware that gas is leaking. And yet you put a block that you want to manage. So as a result of that managing, it get out of hands. Is it carelessness or ignorance? This is pure carelessness. And so it is high time for us now that we should change those things before you can use it, in order to reduce this unnecessary outbreak of fire. So if a stranger comes to see that block on top, if the person is your type, and you ask him or her to go into the chicken, he will also continue the same thing. But if your cylinder is hidden, and the one who is going into chicken is not aware, maybe you can consider that one as what? Ignorance, when it happens. But the one who put the block on top of the distance is aware that there's problem there, there's a leakage, and yet you don't care. That's carelessness. Now, the action that we are talking about, that's the last one. That is a deliberate act. That's the meaning. For instance, you went in for a loan to farm. You realize that it's not with the crops. Looking at how it is, you not break even. You not even gain the capital back. So are you servicing the loan? And so you quickly go and set fire to consume them, so that you use that one as a point. Or you have a problem with a colleague, who is having a shop with you, around your area, or either you are in the same lane or the same market, or he's getting market more customers than you, and you think the best way is to sabotage him by finding a ways of what? Setting fire into that shop so that it consume his property. As a result, the fire cannot remain in that shop. It will extend to others. Your reason is to sabotage one person. Is your reason enough? That's consumed your enemy's properties, even reach your own level, your own side, and others who are ignorant of your actions are also affected. So, my dear brother, my dear sister, please, it is not the best way of sabotaging your friend. We will continue. There are more that I'm going to talk about. This is Akariboga, Isaac, and I want to take you through the usage of gas, LPG, the mode of operations, where to start and where to end, how to position the cylinder, how to position the burner. Some of us, because we see friends using gas, we also go in because we can afford, we have money that we can get them. We should get them. No orientation, no consultations, and we just come and start using it. And today, what is giving us problems in terms of fire? There are only two: electricity and gas. Electricity and gas. And it is not just the electricity that causes fire, or it is not the gas that causes fire, but it is the attitude towards either the electricity or the gas. It is the human usage, the mode of operations, how we handle them, that gives us the problem. So using of gas in cooking is very good. It's a quick way of preparing our food, very quick, neat. Now when you use gas, no traces, very neat. Your chicken's neat. You yourself, the clothes you wear, there's nothing. And so it is good for us to use gas, and even economical as compared to other medium that we use in cooking. But the problem is, if you don't handle it well and it turns against you, you even swear that not even your generation will use gas to cook. So it is a matter of knowing how, when, and where to use gas. And so you are safe. So I'm going to take you through how, or the usage of gas and the position of what? Cylinder. First of all, when you get your equipment, please, when you go to fill it, make sure they test it for you to be sure that there's no leakage. Then take it home. When you want to fix it and position the equipment, the cylinder is supposed to be outside, and your burner will probably be either your kitchen or your veranda, or even if your room there's no veranda and you're using a single room and it is inside, no problem. But make sure you get the cylinder, the entrance. Make sure the cylinder, when you are entering into the room, you reach the cylinder before the burner. And the burner should not be under your bed. It should not be under your table. It should not be close to your curtains. But the advice is that let the burner be either in your kitchen or the veranda, not in your bedroom. So, when you position your cylinder outside or out before you get to the burner, the reason is this. The source of your fuel, that's the gas, is coming from the cylinder. So when you leave the cylinder outside and your burner, you are close to the burner, when there's a fire, it will affect the pans that is on the fire. You see the fire there, but the source is coming from the cylinder. So if there's fire outbreak, when it's out of hands, you quickly run out. When you're cooking, all of a sudden you see fire, this is unconsciously, you run out. No matter how brave you are, you run out and gather courage and come back. So when you run out, you will not, and if the fire is serious, you don't even get an opportunity or even a chance to enter again. So if the cylinder is inside, how to stop the source of fuel that is flowing, that is increasing the fire to burn, you can't have access to it. But if the cylinder is outside, you quickly run to the cylinder, lock it. So locking it means you are taking the source away. You are taking the supply of fuel away. So if you take the supply of fuel out, definitely the fire will go off automatically itself, because there's no support in burning. There's no support in burning. But let me quickly mention these three things for you. The elements that support burning are fuel, heat, and the oxygen. So if these three, you are able to take one off, the two cannot withstand. The two cannot. Fire cannot exist. And so if the cylinder is outside and you quickly run there and close the valve, meaning you have stopped the fuel coming out. There's no support in burning, so the fire will go off and you come back and take your food. So even if you stop it, and the little that is still running through the tube is supporting, now when we now come back, you either use your extinguisher, that is if you have it, or use a sack and wet it, or even a cloth, a very thick one, and wet it and cover your pan. The fire will go off and you are free. That is how you're supposed to position the cylinder and the burner. And that's the reason why you're supposed to position them that way. Now, let's come to the mode of operation. Before you start to cook, make sure your everything is set, including your matches. Then you now go, don't open the burner side First, no. Go and open the cylinder and allow the gas to flow in between the cylinder and the burner. The gas is going to be locked up in the tube. It can't come out if there's no leakage. If there's no leakage, it will not come out. So now, after turning on the what do you call it, the cylinder, now you now come back to your burner side. Make sure you hold your matches. Strike the match and open the burner side gently. The first gas that comes out, the fire will pick it. That is the safer way of what? Cooking. The first gas that comes out, already your match is struck. You have already introduced the fire. The fire is there. That is the heat waiting for the support. There's oxygen already. So the little gas that comes out first, you pick, and you see that you start burning, and then you are safe. The reason why we said open from there, but not from the burner, is that when you open from the burner, I will now go to the cylinder to open it. Before you turn it and comes back to where the burner is, the gas travel faster than you. The gas will move faster than you. Before you reach there, the gas is already out. So your room is full of what? Gas. So any interaction of heat, when you strike the match, you are not going to even light the burner. You are going to light yourself because the whole room is full of gas. So when you strike the match, you see boom, and you will burn. You can't come out again. So that's the reason why I say don't open from the burner, open from the cylinder. And so when you do that, then you have your fire and you're cooking. When you realize that your food is done, don't just open the lid and see that, oh, my food is okay. Then you turn off the burner. Don't do that. Turn off the burner first after cooking. You still go back the same process. When you realize that your food is done, go back the same process. Go to the cylinder, off the cylinder. Now come back and now off. But then before you reach your burner side, the little gas that is in the tube, the fire will burn it off. So before you get there, there will not be fire. So you now lock your burner side. And that way you are safe. The reason is simple. When you go and lock from the cylinder, the little gas that's already escaped from the cylinder into the tube cannot go back to the cylinder. It will flow to the fire and it will burn off. Finished. So the fire will go off by itself. So there will not be fire and there will not be gas in the tube. But if you off this burner first, before you get to the cylinder, there will be gas that already escaped from the cylinder and are in the tube. And you also lock the burner, you off the fire. There will not be fire to burn that gas off. So there will be gas in between the tube. It can go back to the cylinder. It cannot also burn off because there's no fire. It will be in the tube, waiting anytime they had the opportunity or anybody that comes around to open the burner. There will be gas. So the danger is that if there's leakage, if the tube, there's a leakage, the gas will not escape. And if the gas escaped, it's looking for heat. It can even travel outside, even in your absence. It can travel outside and pick fire. It can trace back. When it picks, it comes back to the source. And where is the source? Your room. When you get there, it will burn any combustible material. It fixed. And it will start igniting. before you realize fire outbreak in your room. And you will be surprised. Today I didn't cook, but how come? It is not magic. It is not any other person that do it. That came and set the fire for you. No, it is your own what? Callousness. That is where the callousness is coming in. Even if there's no leakage in the tube, you are not aware that there's gas there. When you come to cook, or even if a child is playing ignorantly, go and turn the burner. That gas will escape. So that is a danger. That's a danger. So observe this and follow the steps so that you are saved when you're using gas. So that we're all saved. So that it will help you and help us. So that it will, in order to reduce this unnecessary fire outbreaks. And we can have our life saved and our property saved. Thank you. Akariboga, Isaac. We are going to continue the do's and don'ts when using gas. First, or one, when you enter your chicken list, observe, smell and see whether there's a leakage. That is it. What you're supposed to do first. Smell and see whether there's a leakage. There's gas. So if you smell gas, please don't introduce any heat. Open the lowest. Open the lowest. Don't on your light. Don't on your fan. Pick your cylinder outside. Check your cylinder well. If there's a leakage from your cylinder, if you check and it is not, check your nearby side. Draw their attentions. Draw your neighbor attentions to also check his side before you introduce any naked fire or any heat. 2, when cooking, don't use phone, especially smartphone. Don't let your smartphone be with you. Neither playing music or WhatsApping or chatting whilst cooking. Don't. The word is don't. Please. Don't even pick call when you are using gas. The safer way is to leave your phone in your bedroom or elsewhere. If there's call, go there and pick it. Make sure you summarize your conversation and get back to your cooking. Don't stay long on phone when you are using gas in cooking. Don't stay long on phone when you are using gas in cooking. Don't use charcoal alongside with gas. People think they have money. You can buy charcoal, fill your gas. So you can cooking your gas, maybe your what do you call it? Using your gas to cook soup, and you light your charcoal for your bonkon or TZ. Please don't combine the two at the same time. Don't do it. Don't let them be closed. Don't use it at the same time. If you're using gas, use gas. If you're using charcoal, use charcoal. Don't fill 2 cylinders or even more because you have money. You can buy about 3 or 4. You just fill them and come and pack. So that when you finish this one, you take this. You don't want to, a situation where you say, my gas finished and I'm going to, don't, it is not, they are not properties that you need to keep in your house. It is not advisable. Let me say it. It is not advisable to have more than 1 filled cylinders and packed. Don't cooking. In cooking, when you are cooking using gas or even charcoal, please let your motor be far from you. Don't pack your motors in the same chicken, and you are cooking. No, don't do that. Don't let petrol get close to where you are cooking. They are enemies. They are enemies. Don't combine them. Please observe all these things. When you are cooking, unfortunately, if your clothing catch fire, please, either your child or you yourself or any other person, when the person is burning, if the person's clothes catch fire, please don't pour water on the person or you yourself. Don't attempt to pour water on the person or yourself. Don't even waste time or trying to remove the set, especially when it is the round neck. Don't even try it. Please, don't run. The best you will do is just lie down and roll. Lie down and roll. The fire will go off automatically. Or use a sack, a wet one, or a thick cloth, and cover the person up to the neck. The fire will go off. Please observe this so that it will help you and help me. It will save your life, save your friend's life, save ourselves. So that we live to see ourselves and see our generations. Thank you.